I appreciate your patience. The biggest news we've heard recently is that Tesla has produced its 20 million 46 ad sale in Texas. As you may remember, back in June, Tesla announced their 10 million 4680 sale in Texas. This means that about 4 months ago, the production line probably started in January when it was formally announced on the Q4 earnings call. It may have taken 5 months to make the first 10 million and another 4 months to make the second 10 million. While most of the community appears to be celebrating this amazing sort of exponential growth, there's no evidence to suggest that the production rate has actually increased. Since June, it's likely that Tesla's sales in June were roughly the same as they are now. There's no proof to suggest otherwise. In fact, they most likely made a little more, maybe between 20 and 30% more. Everyone is saying this is an exponential increase, and I'm seeing some seriously insane fanboy charts going around with the steepest curves in history on how many Cybertrucks Tesla can make at this rate, and people telling me I was wrong about my predictions on 4680s. I actually didn't predict anything. All I have been saying is that the ramp has been disappointing. And if anyone was wrong about 4680 predictions, it's Elon. We should be on a run rate of closer to 200 grams hours a year if battery day targets were anything to go by. My opinion was that 4680s are not detrimental to Tesla's medium-term growth, as Gen 3 can also use LOP sales. However, we hope that Tesla are learning a lot, and that when Tesla turn on those other 4680 lines in Texas, then it won't take anywhere near as long to ramp as the first one. That's what matters, how fast Tesla can replicate 4680 lines now. If Tesla produced 10 million sales in Texas over the last 117 days, then that's 85,000 sales a day average rate. If each cell is 90 hours, if they are cyber cells, then we have a run rate of 2.8 watt hours a year. Or perhaps it has been ramping then. They're possibly up to as much as 3 and a 2 hour year run rate now, plus perhaps another 5 hours a year from K-Road. However, I believe the last we heard about that it was shut down, perhaps for upgrades to test a new generation. For me, this is still nothing too much to get excited about when it comes to 4680 cells. Yeah, I think the goal of the 4680 sales was to increase production of the Model Y in Texas and Berlin, but the market and stock price don't seem to be concerned that this isn't happening. In fact, Tesla has stopped making the 4680 model in Austin. We're still waiting for some sort of breakthrough, probably related to the dry battery electrode process. Does any of this matter? Therefore, the primary goal of 4680 sales is currently the Cybertruck. In fact, the Cybertruck is Tesla's primary focus right now as we get closer to hearing about the official launch. We should also soon hear about the delivery event. On the day that many predicted would never come, the vehicle is officially launched, and bulls are always trying to predict when it might happen. Presumably, the announcement will occur approximately 1 month prior to the event. This year is the only option. It cannot occur around Christmas, since it must be everyone's focus. Therefore, it is most likely to occur in November. The initial reveal was made on November 22, 2019, so it is possible that the delivery event will take place on November 22, 4 years later. Once the announcement is made, the stock will likely rise. This may seem obvious, but occasionally the stock performs below expectations. However, I believe that between the announcement and the event, the stock could rise by 10 to 15% based on the anticipation, all other things being equal. Technical analysts predict that if we break through some of the obstacles that Cybertruck might encounter, the stock might trade between $320 and $340. This would add nearly $100 billion to the company's valuation, or double what Ford is worthwhile to consider it in light of. To generate $100 billion, Tesla would need to sell a lot of Cybertrucks. But the proof that the company can accomplish its goals, even in 4 years, is more important. Maybe it will also allow it to scale 4680 or solve FSD, two problems that are likely worth trillions of dollars apiece. It's about believing in the business. But in the market, faith is erratic. Therefore, it needs to see Tesla or Elon. In other words, there are enough sales for the Cybertruck even at this run rate. In addition, Panasonic 4680 sales will also start production mid-next year and provide a significant boost in 4680 sales. Breathe new confidence from time to time. The Cybertruck is an incredible-looking car. It's the coolest consumer product ever. But back to the sales. If Tesla at a run rate of perhaps 10 hours a year by the end of the year from Texas and K-Road, And if each Cybertruck is an average of 120 car battery, that's enough sales for 880,000 Cybertrucks a year. By the end of the next year, supply might be as high as 50 grams hours annually at a run rate of 460s. However, nobody knows how quickly the Cybertruck will ramp up. Elon has stated that he will reach volume manufacturing by the end of the year, or 5,000 units per week. The stock will likely rise because I don't think it would take that much for Tesla to have enough 4680s to reach that level of production. Who knows? Maybe it will break 300. There might also be some other positive news that helps push the stock price in that direction. In any case, most people will probably say that Tesla's stock the whole buy the rumor. Sell the news tactic will come into play after that delivery event, but we still don't know the car's specifications or price. The stock price may fall, but not by as much as it runs. For instance, if it drops to 320, it may still hold at 300. I think the fact that it has launched will carry some value. However, the specs might blow us away. There may be some features in there that no one has expected. The range might be overly impressive, and the price might be lower than people were expecting. Remember, Tesla would get about $5,000 in subsidies from the government just for the batteries and sales, and then another $75,000 off each one from the rebate, which will start next year. None of this was expected when Tesla initially revealed the Cybertruck and advertised the initial prices. Since the revealed demand for EVs in general has increased dramatically, Tesla have a back order of around 2 million units. And there's been a lot of inflation, leading most in the community to expect prices to be higher than they were initially advertised. Also, the fact that the first 100,000 may not even be delivered until sometime in 2025 means there'll be a lot of consumers that would be willing to pay more to get there sooner. Tesla could probably get away with selling them at a much higher price, which is a strategy they have generally done, like the plaid. And then, when the initial demand is exhausted, Tesla drops the price to a more affordable price for the mass market. Once the innovators who are willing to pay more for their car earlier is exhausted, and as Tesla ramps up their supply more, then we'll see prices drop. However, Tesla may not use that pricing strategy with the Cybertruck. I think the lower cost is launched, then the better the stock price will be. If the stock price is just, I believe it makes sense to launch for the lower price to start with rather than making an extra $100 million or so on the first 100,000 sales. If the Cybertruck costs $10,000 less than the starting price, which is 5% more, then that means the company is worth almost $50 billion more. Tesla would need to sell 5 million Cybertrucks to make that much back in sales with that higher price. In any case, I hope we hear from Tesla soon. Thank you for listening. Please hit the thumbs up and subscribe. I hope the Cybertruck launches for as low a price as possible. However, it's possible that Tesla will just release 2 or even 3 versions at once and announce all the prices, with the exception that the performance version is currently the only one available. Eventually, a long range and standard range version are released as well.